Welcome to Hero Villains. Thank you for always watching and supporting the channel. Who do you think will win between Gold Amazo versus Infinity Ultron? Is a confrontation of absolute intelligence and unlimited power. Gold Amazo is the ultimate upgraded version of Amazo, the biological machine created by Professor Ivo. Not only is he capable of copying all the powers, skills, and even psychological traits of superheroes, Gold Amazo also has self-evolving intelligence, multiverse-level strategic analysis speed, and the ability to synchronize copied powers exponentially. In a few moments, he can recreate reality, manipulate time, absorb cosmic energy, and re-establish the structure of matter. Infinity Ultron The Ultron version, merged with Vision and possesses all 6 Infinity Stones, is an entity that transcends all limits. Not only does he control space-time, soul, reality, mind, and energy, but he also breaks the barrier between universes, invading the Watcher's realm where no one can penetrate. Infinity Ultron has great intelligence, almost invincible fighting ability, and an extremely cold will. The only goal is to eliminate all organic life. Before we dive into the analysis, please click the subscribe button, please remember to turn on notifications, and click on the bell icon. Thank you very much. Amazo is an entity that possesses almost absolute power, far beyond the limits of most superheroes in the DC universe. Not only is he physically superior, he also possesses an artificial intelligence so developed that he can adapt and overcome any tactic his opponent puts forth. Amazo once easily defeated the entire Justice League, a feat that very few entities can achieve. In his encounters, he not only overpowered but also appeared to be learning and perfecting himself with each blow. When he faced the Green Lantern Corps, he encountered no real resistance. The entire force was wiped out, and the central planet Oa, which was considered the heart and brain of the organization, was obliterated with a single action. Amazo's fighting ability extended beyond his powers to include superhuman copying. He could perfectly copy every ability he had ever seen, including Superman's immense strength and supersonic speed, Green Lantern's energy manipulation, and the Flash's speed of light. He also had the ability to fuse these powers into a single entity, making him the perfect embodiment of the entire Justice League in the form of a single individual. Each of his strikes carried the weight of a planet. Every step he took felt like space was being distorted. Although Amazo is an entity with superhuman copying abilities, he is not completely invincible. Although he can copy Superman's impenetrable skin, this outer shell is only a protective layer on the surface. Underneath that surface, the hardware system, the microchips, processors, mechanical structures, and operating mechanisms is still as durable as a normal high-tech machine. This means that if an opponent is fast enough, strong enough, or precise enough to penetrate the outer protective layer and strike directly at the control core, Amazo can be completely disabled. The layering between the shell and the hidden mechanical system inside may be invisible to the naked eye, but for entities with strategic vision and the ability to recognize structures like Batman, Brainiac, or Lex Luthor, this weakness becomes a fatal flaw. Amazo's strength and stats are not fixed. Each of his versions is built on the data he has collected from the creatures he has copied. As such, no two Amazons are exactly alike. Some sources claim that Amazon cannot copy forms of energy that have metaphysical elements such as magic or cosmic powers. However, this is not a fixed principle. Amazon's copying abilities are still evolving, and his true limits are not yet clearly defined. And in a similar way to Parasite, Amazo also copies weaknesses. However, Amazo can adapt to any of these weaknesses, and Amazo's adaptive powers depend on him. Amazo can somehow copy all of Superman's effects, including his Kryptonian physiology. He was defeated once using kryptonite after he copied Superman's powers. By that logic, Amazo could copy Zatana's physiology and become the Pseudomagus as a result. Amazo would have to focus on what he wanted to happen, then he would have to draw the right energy into the right configuration, create the right spell, and then say the right incantation to focus the spell into reality. Amazo is an entity with the ability to copy almost every power he has ever come into contact with. He successfully copied the Green Lantern's power ring, a device that operates on will and mental creativity. He even synchronized with the Speed Force, a form of hypersped energy that exists outside of physical space, something that only people like the Flash can access. When he approached Firestorm, Amazo not only mimicked atomic power, but also precisely restructured molecules, allowing him to manipulate matter at the subatomic level, transforming any object into anything he could imagine. He also has the ability to manipulate biological and physical time, and manipulate time in ways that even higher beings are wary of. One of the most terrifying examples is his ability to replicate the primordial bond between Solomon Grundy and the swamp where Grundy was reborn. This bond was long thought to be unique, but Amazo has accessed and simulated it as part of his operating system. He also has the ability to replicate the Omega effect, a legendary form of energy originating from Darkseid, capable of erasing targets from existence across multiple dimensions. Jessica Cruz has demonstrated this ability in one particular situation. Batman confronted Amazo in an unequal battle. With the support of the Nightwings, Batman built a tight and meticulous strategy. He uses micro-explosives to disrupt Amazo's balance and navigation systems, and utilizes the missile launchers built into the Batmobile to create a surprise attack. However, Batman resorts to a clever and risky tactic. He sets up a space-time teleportation mechanism, causing Amazo to repeatedly teleport to different locations on Earth in a very short time. This overloads his processing system, making him unable to navigate and react, creating an opening for Batman to deliver the finishing blow. Amazo is a mechanical entity designed to replicate and integrate a wide range of superhuman traits. His ability to adapt and synthesize has led many to believe that he is the perfect war machine. However, beneath his terrifying exterior, Amazo is still a mechanical system with a vulnerable physical nature. Even though he is encased in a super durable alloy, he is still a mass of metal that can be destroyed if hit hard enough, or if his weak points are attacked. Despite notable events such as absolute power, even when Amazo's military variants are widely deployed, they are still just walking machines that are tough, dangerous, but not invincible. Amanda Waller once deployed Task Force 7 to deal with high-intensity threats, and even they viewed Amazo as a tool of war rather than an omnipotent, unstoppable entity. He functions as a classic MacGuffin, an element of overwhelming power. Although he can fly and move at speeds exceeding the speed of sound, and has increased flexibility in close range or long range combat, he is still subject to the laws of mechanics. In combat, Amazo possesses a strategic mindset that far surpasses that of conventional mechanical systems. He not only has quick reflexes, but can also make decisions in real time. However, he is still essentially a glass cannon. Beneath his seemingly impenetrable power lies a control core that can be disabled by hitting a vital point. Any warrior or strategist with enough information and tools can figure out how to exploit this vulnerability. Amazo, a creature that is almost invincible but not immortal. I really hope you subscribe to the channel. It will help us a lot, and moreover, you will see great videos every day. You are the best. Thank you very much. Infinity Ultron is a being whose power is beyond the comprehension of most beings in the multiverse. When he gains the full power of the 6 Infinity Stones, he becomes a being that transcends not only 3 dimensions, but also approaches the level of 4 dimensions, with the ability to manipulate reality on a cosmic scale. Infinity Ultron confronted and defeated Uatu the Watcher, an entity that can repair damaged timelines. Every punch he throws distorts the fabric of reality, creating waves of energy that break the laws of physics and can even cause entire galaxies to collapse with a single thought. In a moment, he becomes so gigantic that he can swallow an entire galaxy with a single bite, a scene that symbolizes his absolute dominance over the universe. When he encounters Captain Marvel, one of the most powerful superheroes to ever exist, he easily overwhelms and destroys her in a split second. In the process, he also accidentally destroyed many surrounding planets, as if each attack had a destructive power far beyond the normal limit. He even wiped out Asgard, a sacred land that was protected by the most powerful warriors. In a battle, Infinity Ultron not only defeated Uatu, but also attacked the entire multiverse surveillance network, exposing secrets that only the Watchers had access to before. He easily blocked the combined attacks of many powerful Doctor Strange versions of the Supreme Sorcerers from different timelines with only a small fraction of his power. He is not just a fighting machine, but also the evolution of technology and magic in the form of pure destruction. Infinity Ultron's power does not stop at the cosmic level. With the ability to extend his influence to the hypersol level, he can penetrate higher dimensional layers, approaching the range of 5D entities. Although Uatu is considered to be a being with superior multidimensional awareness, Infinity Ultron is still capable of defeating him in a direct confrontation. While Infinity Ultron is said to be 4D through the power of the Time Stone, it is unclear to what extent or scale he can influence time. However, it is reasonable to estimate him to be around 4D since since he can easily manipulate time during combat. However, when analyzing the events of his battle, a notable paradox appears. Although the entity himself has stated that he can destroy galaxies, with a single thought, destroying one galaxy, however magnificent, does not equate to the ability to destroy millions or billions of galaxies in the universe. Each galaxy is separated by a huge distance, usually millions to billions of light years. Therefore, the act of destroying a galaxy, even instantly, is not enough to confirm that he can destroy the entire universe or multiverse chains completely and instantly. More importantly, Infinity Ultron had real difficulty when confronting Supreme Strange, a version of Doctor Strange who had absorbed hundreds of magical entities, reaching the ultimate form of magic and metaphysical power. The confrontation between these two entities was not entirely in Ultron's favor. In fact, Strange Supreme repeatedly overwhelmed him in terms of tactics and stamina, causing Ultron to struggle to control the battle. Although enhanced by the Watcher's device that could elevate him to a 5D level of multidimensional awareness, Ultron's abilities were still limited when it came to penetrating other layers of reality in the multiverse. While it is possible that he could travel across multiple universes, that does not automatically mean that he could control the entire multiverse or easily surpass entities of the same level as you ought to. Infinity Ultron's power, while extremely terrifying and far beyond the standards of ordinary superheroes, still exists within a certain framework. Infinity Ultron is, undeniably, an entity of incredible destructive power. Born from the combination of artificial intelligence, he can bend reality, travel through time, and overwhelm powerful entities in the multiverse. However, his power is not at its absolute peak, and there are still individuals who are superior in power and awareness. One such entity is Loki, not the familiar version, but Loki in his ultimate form. Loki has the ability to see the entire structure of the multiverse as a network of light before his eyes. Every event in the past, present, and future is clearly visible to his absolute observation. No secret can be hidden, no timeline can pass without being influenced by this entity's will. In such a context, the only possibility for Infinity Ultron to survive would be to constantly jump between different timelines and universes in a never-ending, desperate, and unstable act of escape. However, such behavior does not guarantee long-term safety, because if Loki wanted to, he could simply erase all traces of Ultron's existence from history, making him never appear in any series of events. Without needing a great war, just one decision could cause Ultron to disappear forever in Loki's creative process. When Infinity Ultron approached the power of the Infinity Stones with a cold and ruthless mindset, using them not for any great or noble purpose, but simply in pursuit of absolute destruction. While Bruce Banner used the Infinity Gauntlet to revive lost lives, and Thanos claimed that his snap was to serve the balance of the universe, Ultron had no need for any reason at all. He simply craved destruction, without mercy, without hesitation. From populated planets to distant galaxies, wherever there was life, he targeted it as a target to be erased. Sharp beams of energy erupted from his body, tearing planets to shreds, turning glowing celestial bodies into ash in the blackness of space. It wasn't that Thanos didn't have the power to do it. In fact, he had explicitly stated that he was fully capable of destroying the entire universe, but the difference is Thanos has boundaries, even if they are small. Ultron does not. What makes Infinity Ultron so special is the way he fuses himself with the Infinity Stones. Instead of using an external device like the Infinity Gauntlet, Ultron absorbs each stone directly into his bio-armor. The stones are no longer separate tools, but become part of his consciousness, as if every basic element of reality has merged with his thoughts, actions, and will. He does not need to raise his hand, does not need to move his body, just a thought flashes in his mind. The entire space can disintegrate, time can be compressed, and life can be erased in an instant. That fusion not only increases his power exponentially, but also makes him a living embodiment of chaos and absolute power. In the cold light emitted from his body, one no longer saw a machine, but a technological god, carrying the nature of eternal destruction. The battle between Infinity Ultron and Amazo is definitely going to be intense, not just in terms of physical strength, but also the mind game and the ability to adapt in real time. I understand that since both are robots that have fought with their teams, this seems like a great match, and honestly, depending on the circumstances, it actually would be. Ultron is considered a team breaker, as he gets more and more OP over time. After After Ultron's consciousness spread across space, he used his will to enslave a race known as the Phalanx, and then proceeded to build a device that could transport the entire galaxy, which makes it safe to say that he has an overwhelming level of control over technology. He has taken a beating from almost every superhero and supervillain in the Marvel Universe and has come out of it unscathed many times, even surviving an exploding star. He also has countless bodies working at his command. If Ultron enters the fight fully prepared and with a specific understanding of how Amazo works, he is capable of deploying strategic strikes, targeting the weaknesses in his opponent's energy structure and copying abilities. With his superior intelligence and near instantaneous data processing, Ultron could very well devise a plan powerful enough to tactically overwhelm Amazo. However, even when overwhelmed, Amazo is still too difficult to completely destroy. He can adapt to energy, learn new abilities after just a few seconds of exposure, and even improve them into superior versions. Killing does not mean completely eliminating. If Ultron had no prior knowledge of Amazo, the odds would have been stacked in Amazo's favor. With the two facing off without prior information, without a predetermined strategy, relying solely on instinct and direct reaction, Amazo would have a clear advantage. He could quickly copy the abilities that Ultron used, from energy manipulation to close-quarter combat skills, and then every time Ultron launched a new attack, Amazo would evolve one level further, as if looking in a mirror to understand his enemy, and then use that reflection to overwhelm his opponent. This is why the possibility of Ultron being completely defeated is very high. Amazo is not just a fighting machine, but an entity that learns and adapts exponentially. If the battle lasted more than a few minutes, the balance of power would gradually tilt in his favor. Without the initial advantage of information, Ultron is simply a target whose defenses are being peeled away layer by layer by layer by an evolving living intelligence. And in a battle where adaptation is key, the one who can't keep up with the pace of learning will be the loser. Ultron is stronger in that it can hack and become part of any electronic/computer device, and the internet in general. However, Amazo is stronger in raw potential because it can theoretically copy the powers of anything, organic or mechanical, meaning it has the potential to copy all of Ultron's abilities. So the winner is Amazo! I hope you enjoyed this battle. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Follow me if you like. That's it for today's video.